Cold age does not there our ears, no vapor dims our eyes. Glory that the sun outshines, whose beams the blessed only see. Oh, come quickly, oh, come quickly, oh, come quickly, glorious Lord, and raise my sprite to thee. Oh, come quickly, oh, come quickly, oh, come quickly, sweetest Lord, and raise my soul to rest.
Good morning. Welcome to the John Thompson Tribute Concert. Thank you. My name's Ian Dearden. I'm a long-time legal and musical colleague and friend of John's, and it's my privilege to be your MC and your guide to the celebration of one of Australian folk music's brightest talents who left us far too soon. John died on the 4th of February 2021 during the difficult second year of the pandemic, which is still going. And this is the first opportunity we've all had to celebrate the great man and his music. So thank you for coming today. As you'd expect, no show about John would be complete without his voice. What you heard as you took your seats was John, multi-tracked, singing a sailor's hymn, Never Weather Beaten Sail. He recorded it himself late at night in a stone chapel on the island of Iona in Scotland, and reveals the lifelong influence of his experience as a Catholic choir boy in St Stephen's Cathedral, Brisbane, as well as his abiding love of harmony singing. We have a big story to tell in word and song, and far too short a time to tell it. So strap yourselves in for 50 minutes of love, life, laughter and song with the cream of Australia's folk community, who were, not entirely coincidentally, among John's nearest and dearest friends, collaborators and musical compatriots. So to start with, when John and Nicole lived in Maloney, the queue at the IGA supermarket was a good place to hear a story or two. And after one particularly lively visit, John wrote this song about Bill Sinclair, the strongest man on the range, and his night at the circus in Landsborough. From the Cloud Street album, Circus of Desires, here is Donald McKay and members of Cloud Street with Bill and the Bear!
Come listen now, good people, here to a story of renown of a day 100 years ago when the circus came to town. Mr. Worth and all his gallant crew raised the big top high, and all the folk for miles around gathered under a canvas sky. And were you there in the clear night air when William Sinclair he fought the bear? Were you there to see William Sinclair when he wrestled the bear to the ground? There were dancing ponies and tumbling clowns, the best you ever did see. A lion tamer on the higher wire rack, and the girl on the flying trapeze. The battering master in his big top hat, he raised his whip in the air. Oh, with a mighty roar, the big cage went clang. It was Thompson, the mighty bear. And were you there in the clear night air when William Sinclair he fought the bear? Were you there to see William Sinclair when he wrestled the bear to the ground? He was 10 feet high and 9 feet wide, a mountain of muscle and fur. A mighty beast as black as coal, the ground shook with his roar. Fat which I'll come near. I've a Christian pound for any man here, brave enough to wrestle the bear. And were you there in the clear night air when William Sinclair he fought the fair? Were you there to see William Sinclair when he wrestled the fair to the ground? Bill and his family had come to see the show, his youngest newly born. Strongest man to ever cross the range, he could carry his weight in corn. He sized up the beast with a glance at his wife, he slowly raised his hand. I'll have a go, he heard himself say, then up struck the band. Bill entered the ring, circling and bouncing around. First left, then right, then he lunged right in the crowd. It didn't make a sound. They twisted and they turned, and they wrestled and they grappled with the skin and the muscle and the fur. Oh, with a mighty roar, both threw Samson down, and he raised his fist in the air. And were you there in the clear night air when William Sinclair he beat the bear? Oh, were you there to see William Sinclair when he wrestled the bear to the ground? You've never heard a roar quite like it, the shouts lit in midnight air. When Bill was raised above the head of the crowd to the cheers of everyone there. Hooray! And till you did see the name of the famous Bill Sinclair. Raise your glass and drink to the health of the only man to ever beat the bear. And were you there in the clear night air when William Sinclair he beat the bear? Were you there to see William Sinclair when he wrestled the bear to the crowd? And were you there in the clear night air when William Sinclair he beat the bear? Were you there to see William Sinclair when he wrestled the bear to the ground?
Thank you to Mel and the orchestra. Good morning. Good morning. John would be touched and impressed and a bit shocked to have so many people turn up to a concert at 9 o'clock for him. So, and we were very blessed to sing with John for over 30 years. So we're going right back now. We were the third band he was in. He was in Contraband and then No Right Turn. And this, we were in One Step Forward together. And I think this might be the last song we ever sang together. And certainly we sang it very many times. And it has one line you can repeat. How can I keep from singing? My life goes on in endless song. Above earth's lamentations, I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear its music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest loudly roars? I hear the truth, it liveth, and And though the darkness round me glows, songs in the night it giveth, no storm can shake my inmost calm, while to the rock I'm clinging. Sorry. Do that again. I'm sorry, I got lost. In John. When tyrants tremble in their fear, and hear the death knell ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? In prison cell and dungeon vile, our thoughts to them are winging. When friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing? How can I keep from singing? Thank you.
So John and I originally met when we both worked for the Legal Aid Office in Brisbane and discovered our shared love of folk music. Together with Marie Robertson, who you just heard singing with Anne Bermingham, we presented performances at various Mullaney folk festivals, the predecessor to this festival at Woodford, including Songs of Love and Death and Songs of War and Peace. We like the small topics. I left for private practice, but John stayed on at the Legal Aid Office, and by 1992 he was working as a legal aid lawyer in Townsville. He maintains that this next song is a true story except for the last verse, and that the only reason that the name was changed was to protect Sean. He also claimed that it was an oversight that he had a brother called Kevin. It was, he insisted, a generic Kevin and not his brother Kevin, who was the song's eponymous protagonist. Here to present that slice of dubious legal sophistry is Fred Smith and band.
I'm banned. One band man.
We're going to talk about Martin and...
Yes, we are going to talk about Martin. Martin isn't here, and you probably have noticed that Martin isn't here, and he is the biggest omission from this concert. But he's not at the festival. He hasn't been very well. And so we're going to sing this comedy song that Martin and John used to perform as Never the Twain when we were all down at the Troubadour eating jaffles. Remember when they used to go... Yeah, exactly. They used to go, Nicole, your jaffle's ready, right in the middle of a song that was just breaking everyone's heart. Yeah, so that's the idea here.
I think you can take this next song as a piece of sort of posthumous, preemptive, pro bono legal advice.
Is that what your law degree gave you, Fred, was those words?
Yes, that's it. Well, my mate Kevin, he smokes drugs. It's true just as I stand here. He'll sit at home with his bucket bong while you go out for a beer. He grows his own, so he's self-sufficient. He's done the numbers you see. He's a normal fella with a normal life, as nice can be. Well, one day Kevin was sitting in his lounge room with his music, his stash and his gear. There was a knock on the front door, a bang on the back. It's the police, open up in there. Well, they burst right into the lounge room. Started pushing the lad around, and from behind the couch they pulled a plastic bag and said, "What's this we have found?" And Kevin said, "They're not my drugs, I don't use drugs, I don't like drugs, I've never seen drugs, I wouldn't know drugs from Morton Bay bugs, I'm sorry sir, that's not mine." That's your chorus, well done. Well, they didn't find his honesty appealing, so they kicked Kevin in the balls. Pushed the books down from the bookshelf, pulled the posters off the wall. It was a dark Orwellian rampage to strike fear into the hearts of men And they sat him in the chair and they stared him down and they said, we'll ask you once again. And Kevin said, they're not my drugs, I don't use drugs, I don't like drugs, I've never seen drugs, I wouldn't know drugs from Moreton Bay bugs, I'm sorry sir, but that's not mine. Well, when Kevin just wouldn't be helpful, the coppers did as they were taught. They took him to the station and they marched him into court. And behind the bench sat a magistrate with manner grim and words so grand. And he listened to the cops as they told their tale, and then Kevin took the stand. And Kevin said, they're not my drugs, I don't use drugs, I don't like drugs, I've never seen drugs, I wouldn't know drugs from Moreton Bay bugs, I'm sorry sir, but that's not mine. Well, a hush fell over the courtroom when the evidence had all been heard, and all eyes were fixed on that magistrate as they waited for his word. And the magistrate sat there pondering, well, how would justice be done? And after careful thought, at the proper time, he looked at Kevin and he said, stand up, son. And he said, they're not his drugs. He doesn't use drugs. He doesn't like drugs. He's never seen drugs. He wouldn't know drugs from Moreton Bay bugs. Not guilty, no conviction, no fine. Hang on, we'll just do the key change again. Well, when Kevin left the courtroom, he was grinning from ear to ear. He was thinking about his friends at home and more music and more stash and more gear. And as he left, he met that magistrate who said, my son, you're not alone. If you get caught, you've got a drug problem. Come back to my place and have a cone. And remember, they're not your drugs. You don't use drugs. You don't like drugs. You've never seen drugs. You wouldn't know drugs from Moreton Bay bugs. I'm sorry, sir, but that's not mine. All together now. They're not my drugs. I don't use drugs. I don't like drugs. I've never seen drugs. I wouldn't know drugs from Moreton Bay bugs. I'm sorry, sir, but that's not mine. I'm sorry, sir, but that's not mine. I'm sorry, better luck next time. I thought it was a passion fruit vine.
John first discovered folk music when he walked into a session at the New Exchange Hotel in Brisbane one Saturday afternoon in 1983. He loved sessions to the very end, and in Townsville he loved to join sessions run by Don Jarmey and his wife Angie Kitzelman. The world being small, Don and Nicole had gone to school together, and when Nicole moved back to Townsville, she and John met, fell in love and started singing together. Today we have Don Jarmey and the multi-talented Lachlan Baldwin, the younger one, the better-looking one. Sorry, Don.
Thank you, Ian. I feel so comfortable on stage now.
An outstanding representative of the next generation of fine performers and passionate session participants, playing the Alistair Hewlett song Yuppie Town. And Alistair was a dear friend of John and Nicole's, and like John, left us far too early.
Thank you. Just a quick line. I met John in 1986, and really quickly we became great mates. And we played in a duo together for a while called Little Green Men. And this is one of the songs we used to do quite regularly. It's written by Alistair Hewlett. It's called Yuppie Town. Let's go.
But the people who live round here, they don't have that much. Well, they make do with the things that others wouldn't even touch. The people who live round here, they work in the factories, and they don't have to choose a rule by necessity. And they better watch out. There's a new breed taking over, the driving us out. They've been giving us the old once over. They're gonna tear the place down, turn it into Yuppie Town. Tear the place down and turn it into Yuppie Town. used to be. Nagging to your neighbour on the street or stopping for a cup of tea. The people who live round here, they like to have a beer and all. But since the old pub changed hands, you can't get in overalls. And you better watch out. There's new breed taking over, they're driving us out. They've been giving us the old once over. They're gonna tear the place down and turn it into yuppie town. Tear the place down and turn it into yuppie town. Push off west. It's funny how the powers that be, they always seem to know what's best. People who live round here, they got the place in such a state. The people who live round here drive down the price of real estate. And they better watch out. There's a new breed taking over, they're driving us out. They've been giving us the old once over. They're gonna tear the place down, turn it into yuppie town. Tear the place down and turn it into yuppie town. Tear the place down and turn it into yuppie town.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lachlan Baldwin.
Mr. John Jarmey. Thanks, John.
And the reason that Belswagger is here today it's a collective noun, is here today, is because John Thompson was surprisingly keen on Morris dancing, and every time he and I could, we would go to the top of Mount Cootha on the 1st of May to dance up the sun with the Morris dancers. We invite you warmly to come and do that with us on the next 1st of May. You do need to be there early because although the Morris dancing code says, or the creed, says that the sun will not rise until the Morris dancers have danced it up, they still get there early just in case. My opinion is they could happily go there at morning tea time and we'd all be much better off. So, apart from the people who are waiting for the sun to get up. So, John and I went up there and danced up the sun many a time. And then he also wrote a song called Dance Up the Sun, which he gifted to Belswagger Morris as their anthem. And because of that, they wanted to write a dance for John. So the dance that is being performed today is a dance for John to his song, The Brisbane River. So this is a world first to have the whole band and the dancers doing this. And we have on stage with us the foreman of Belswagger Morris, Daniel Townley, playing the box. Apart from that, we have the usual suspects of the Ceilidh Clan and Cloudstreet. Belswagger.
Hello everybody. It's lovely to have the chance to be here to honour John musically. Dave is wearing a shirt which symbolises the effect that John had when he joined the Spooky Men. We met John in a bus. We didn't meet John in a bus, but John was in a bus with us going back from Cygnet to Hobart. And there it became inevitable that our paths would have to properly cross. And so he kind of blazed into our lives for a brief period of time, illuminated us with his stupid brilliance, and then that was just really for one tour of the United Kingdom, which during which he left an indelible mark in terms of our musicality, in terms of our repertoire of memorable, hilarious moments, and in terms of one or two memorable whiskey nights. So, John, we salute you with this shirt and with our shirts, and with this song, which was a song that John loved. This is The Parting Glass. Thank you, John.
And all
I promised myself that I wouldn't shed a tear, but they've done it. At last count, there were 3 songs written in tribute to John Thompson. First by Eric Bogle, Catch the Wave, sung and performed superbly on his album Source of Light by Chris Weil and Julie Matthews. If you haven't heard it, track it down. The second by me, imaginatively called Song for John, which you can find on my Bandcamp page or from the QR code on the posters around the venue. If you search Ian Dearden, spell it properly, and Bandcamp, you'll find the song. And all of the sales from that song are going to fund a memorial stone for John's grave at Toowong. And the third is by Fred, who is in the process of setting up now, as I slowly get myself out of the way. So John died on the 4th of February 2021. His funeral's on the 12th of February at Newstead. And Fred tells me that that's significant, so that's why I'm telling you. And I think they're just about ready.
Well, it's significant, Ian, because it was 10:30 in the morning here in Brisbane, but 5 a.m. in the morning in Kabul, where I was. And I got out of bed especially to watch the thing on Zoom, which I did for 2 reasons. Firstly, because I love John and he's very kind to me over the years. But secondly, as John would always say, if you don't go to people's funerals, you can't expect them to go to yours.
I've also got a deal with Fred, by the way, that whichever one of us goes first, the other one gets to write the song. Thank you.
I woke at dawn, turned it on, watched them burying John. COVID funeral, not packed to the rafters. I watched on Zoom from my room in that 5 a.m. gloom. Gone too soon to the sweet ever after. Watched his girl rise to tell how he gave them all hell, how he lusted for justice and laughter. She read from bliss, I will miss how he taketh the piss, indiscreet to the sweet ever after. Rolled up his sleeves to achieve for our failures we grieve. Time's a menacing, merciless master. And then we mend amongst friends, that's what counts in the end. Go complete to the sweet ever after. Played one more, an encore, and then they walked out the door to the street and the sweet ever after.
Well, we're drawing to the close. John and Nicole first performed publicly as a duo at the insistence of Marie Robertson for the opening set of the first Chris Weil and Julie Matthews concert in Brisbane. This next song, written early on in the Cloud Street journey, brings together John's spiritual relationship with the natural world and his fascination with history, myth and religion. There are carvings of the Green Man to be found in churches and cathedrals all over the UK and Europe, and this anthemic song by John has now passed into the folk repertoire and is sung at folk clubs and sessions and perhaps even in churches all over the world. For this final song in tribute to John, please join Nicole Murray, Emma Nixon, Rebecca Wright and all their friends and the audience members who have learned the harmonies at Nicole's workshops on the first 2 days of this festival. And we want you to raise these metaphorical rafters until all of that lifts up to the sky in honour, of course, of our dear friend and fellow traveller John. And as always, and John would understand this, we're fiddling around, but we're getting the band on stage. If only we had John here, we'd get the band back together again.
This Fred was here, wasn't he?
Yes. So I'm going to go, where do you want me? Where do you want me?
So Fred Smith has just lent me his guitar, isn't he lovely? Ooh, oh, there's a ring about there. Oh. Now, we've had 2 choir rehearsals and a lot of people in the audience have learnt some harmony parts. You know the bit that goes, green, green tree, dream, all forest for the green man. And the other 2, have you got it in your heads? Sing it like you mean it. If you haven't got the right bit, sing the chords we're playing. It'll be lovely. The words are green tree, dream, old forest father, green man, if you're singing the harmonies. Otherwise, you probably know the words to this song. I'll just make sure everybody's plugged in. The green man's a traveller, reveller, unraveller of dreams and of fancies, from first to the last, old and old man, living in all things, son, father and sage, long live the green man. First light of first morning, saw the green man there waiting. He saw the creation and joined in the dance. All creatures grew around him. He grew with them singing the first song of all. Sing of the green man. Ready? The green man's a traveller, reveller, unraveller of dreams and of fancies, from first to the last, old and old man, living in all things, son, father and sage, long live the green man. Wow. Quietly watching and waiting and learning, the storms are his fury, the lightning his love, the first leaf of spring is his beauty and glory, his stillness, his power, in the trees is his path. The green man's a traveller, reveller, unraveller of dreams and of fancies, from first to the last, old times old as heart, in our souls we may find him, and remember his wisdom, and rekindle the flames, once again make us start. The green man's a traveller, reveller, unraveller of dreams and of fancies, from first to the last. Old earth and old men, living in all things, some father and sage, long live the green man. The green man's a traveller, reveller, unraveller of dreams and of fancies, from first to the last. Old earth and old men, living in all things, some father and sage, long live the green man. Old earth and old men, living in all things, some father and sage, long live the green man. Long live the green
So our thanks to Eddie and the sound crew, to the backstage crew, to the performers Nicole Murray, Emma Nixon, Rebecca Wright, Donald McKay, Aaron Sulman, Marie Robertson, Anne Bermingham, Don Jarmey, Lachlan Baldwin, Fred Smith and his band, Matt Robbie, Mitch and Hayden, Stephen Taberner, and the Spookies, Daniel Townley, Belswagger Morris, Mal Webb and the orchestra, and all of the harmony singers out there who have learned over the last 2 days. Thank you so much. My name's Ian Dearden, and I'm deeply, deeply grateful that you have joined in this celebration of our dear friend John Thompson. Raise the rafters once again. And just as a surprise, don't go anywhere, because we have someone to talk him out. And if there was one person that could out-talk John Thompson, this is the man. Please welcome Festival Director, Bill Horwitz.
Hello everyone. I think I just spoiled a fantastic ending, didn't I? I'm like that, always make an entrance. Difficult. I'm late here because I was trying to print out one of the greatest poems I've ever read. It's something that John wrote for me in 3 hours before this fantastic dinner we were putting together over here in the Duck. It was a big annual dinner, it was an important event, and we had different sort of religious leaders and all these different people coming, and I asked him to write a grace that we could say. And so I wished I could read it to you, and very frustrating. I had a little house fire you might have heard about, maybe not so little. And it was on my computers and burned up, and it's saved on the cloud, and I just have lost it, unable to find it this morning. The beauty of that poem, he was able to demonstrated a great skill John had that I saw and admired and indeed used in the very early days of our Mullaney Folk Festival right through his entire life. He had wonderful political skills. He was able to cut through, bring people together. He was a barrister. He had the most powerful sense of good politics. I mean, politics in the proper meaning of the word. A bit emotional for me even talking about it. He could bring opposing forces together, cut a line down the middle. He honed that in court, arguing in front of judges, winning courts. He was a barrister for people in need up in Townsville, and I saw him work. I saw him present his cases. This incredible skill. There were occasions when we were in a bit of strife, and I needed sort of advice from somebody I could think with to help find a way through to issues and problems we are facing right here. And there were a lot of those. There was one occasion that in the early years, after 8 years in Mullaney, it's the Mullaney Folk Festival, we bought the land, we'd taken a huge risk, and there was a lot of naysayers among the folkies and different people. Why do you want to leave Mullaney? Why this? Why that? Why do we need land? And it came down to a big political movement of one person who led a campaign basically against me, and it came down to a pretty big annual general meeting where all our members came in and voted, and there was I think about 110 thereabouts people who came to the AGM, which was held in Caboolture. And I'm just giving you this one example of lots of examples. It was a tense moment, and it came down to a vote, and we presented our case, the other side presented their case. We had one thing on our favour, we told the truth. On the other side, they didn't. They had a problem with the truth, but they wanted to win the battle of not buying Woodfordia. And this was quite nasty. It made the front page of the Courier Mail. Of course, that's always a compliment nowadays. It was a compliment back then. If it's on the front page of the Courier Mail, you know it's bullshit. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. So we rolled out our speakers, and our principal speaker was John Thompson. Well, he got out there, he charmed the crowd. He was a bloody charmer. He was a sweet talker, but he didn't do it in a sucky sort of way. It's just this beautiful logic, his gentle voice, his ripping intelligence cut through. We won that AGM, and Woodfordia exists because of that speech he made. We won, I think it was 87 votes to 11. And there was joy. My hangover lasted 3 days. I can't stop. There's a long list of contributions John Thompson made off the stage that I could talk about. It's going over time, but this man was special. I'm not going to say too much, it's the end, but I had to say thanks to John Thompson. We're all here. Good to see you.
Thank you to Bill Horrocks, and one last thank you to John Thompson and everybody who contributed. Thank you. Raise the rafters and enjoy the rest of the festival.